Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about Quickbuilds, the future of X-Wing 2.5 with the new AMG edition, sometimes called 3.0, and then some of the ways that this could be headed and what it all means and where it might be taking the game. If you guys are new here to the channel, be sure to enter to win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Also, I want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle, for sponsoring the channel. They are amazing tokens. You need to get over to luxuryplaystyle.com. Check these things out. They are absolutely gorgeous. Not only do they have tokens for X-Wing, they also have tokens for Legion, Keyforge, L5R, lots of other games. So check them out. Use code Crabbok VIP. You're going to save 15%. Orders of $35 or more are going to get a free Crabbok lightsaber nunchuck token. You're gonna love these. They're going to make you want to play the game more. They are that amazing. So definitely check them out. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about Quickbuilds. Now, a little history here. Quickbuilds came out with X-Wing 2.0. It was a way to allow people a way to play straight out of the box, even if the website went down that did the points. Imagine that! What would happen if Asmodee stopped making that website that had the points? Of course, the community has taken over since they have done that, but it allows something to kind of still be able to be sold as a usable product for like kitchen table play, despite the fact that the points and upgrade slots aren't on the ships anymore. I personally still wish they would put the upgrades slots and the points on the ships, kind of like how Legion has it done. If you have to do an errata or a points change, just do it, but at least give us a starting point. And of course, they kind of did that with Quickbuilds, so they didn't do it the same way other games do it, but in X-Wing 2.0, they had Quickbuilds. And Quickbuilds were, at first, they were just kind of blue and black cards that showed you a pilot and a number of upgrades. Sometimes those didn't exactly match the existing upgrades that were available to it at the time, but it was here you're going to run Luke with proton torpedoes and so on and so forth. And so there was, it was a nice way to have an alternate format, because if you were going to play Quickbuilds, then everybody was going to play Quickbuilds. Not as many people really went and did this for a number of reasons. I mean, it was kind of like a minority or maybe beginner-friendly format, or very much a kitchen table format. And, I don't recall really seeing about many quick build tournaments and things like that. So the organized play structure of quick builds didn't really exist. Now, this sort of I think FFG sort of got the message, because in their final days of being custodians of X-Wing, or making X-Wing, the creators of X-Wing, and towards the end of their tenure with X-Wing, is probably a better way to put it, they did start to change their OP kits and rewards, and there were some new quick builds that were kind of like the full text quick builds, which is kind of what I have here on screen for a Thane Carell quick build with all of the text. Now, this is an amazing way to do quick builds, and I think if they had been rolled out in this fashion, they might have seen a lot more play. I know personally, I like this idea a lot, and I'll tell you what I like about it, and maybe you disagree. I'd love to hear what your thoughts on quick builds, if you'd ever run them, and if you'd like play in a quick build event or not. So Thane Carell here has, all of his text. He's got all the stuff you would get on a card normally. You've got the name, the faction, the values for the ship stats, the actions available, the ship-specific text, and, of course, this pilot skill, or initiative, rather. But now you also have all of these other things. These are all of the upgrades that go on the card. You don't have the upgrade art, but in this case, you do at least have Thane Carell art. And that was one thing that the original quick builds did not have, is they didn't have any art on them whatsoever. And so in addition to them kind of still requiring you pull out every single upgrade card and get everything out, plus the quick build card itself was actually made for kind of more work, in my opinion. Even though you didn't have to build the list, you still had to go out and get all the cards. And as games grow, and X-Wing has certainly grown, digging through your card collection can take a while. And not only does it take a while to get all the cards out, then when you're done, you got to put them all away, and that can sometimes take even longer. So this new enhanced quick build version was a great way to keep quick build as an option, and really started to come about with when FFG started doing the scenario packs and the card packs. That's when the Aces High scenario first came out. I remember sort of playtesting that. It wasn't really a playtest. It was more of a kind of a blind demo at Star Wars Celebration Chicago, where it was kind of unveiled to the public for the first time, and people were playing, Aces High all day long, and it was this set build. Now, they didn't have these quick builds out at the time, but they did say, this is exactly what this pilot is. Just grab one of the existing pilots, these are the things that are on them, and just run them and fly. And it was a really, really fun way to play it. So I think quick builds really, really lend themselves very well to Aces High as a format, which kind of leads into the Atomic Mass Games OP kit, aptly named Aces High. So a lot more of these enhanced quick builds started showing up in the Aces High kit, and of course, it's a very cool thing. I feel like this is something that AMG really likes, that they're going to gel with. They've talked a little bit about this and more, and we're going to talk about that. But I feel like this is kind of similar to Crisis Protocol. If you've ever seen or played Marvel Crisis Protocol, you'll know that you don't really list builds to the extent that you do in other games, in that when you pick like Captain America, it's kind of like this. You've got all of the abilities that he has. Everything that he can do is printed on his card, and that's all there is to it. You can't modify him. He is locked in, and he's got a lot of stuff. And so it's kind of cool. Like, all the rules are on the cards. You don't have to memorize, 1,000 different upgrades. Oh, what kind of torpedoes should I put on this X-wing? Well, there's this kind, this kind, this kind, and this kind. Oh, what kind of astromech should I put in there? You don't have to think that much about it. You just grab the card and go. And so this can be a very nice, casual, friendly format, or good OP, OP support. Also, just good side events like Aces High, and quick build specific formats where you just take a quick build up against another quick build. Because one of the cool things about quick builds, if you look down here, is there's a number, right? You have these 2 yellow dots, right? So you play like an 8 point. So this is like how many points he is. So you still have points for the quick build. So you say, we're going to play an 8-point quick build. Boom. All right, this guy's worth 2, and we get a 5, or maybe a 4, a 2, and another 2, and I'm done. So it ends up being about the same kind of size as a normal build. You just get to set it up in a quarter of the time. It's really, really cool. So let's fast forward a little bit to, the 2.5 rule set rollout that AMG did, and the way that now upgrades have no cost. You just have loadout points for these new ships. Now, I feel like once this 2.5 rule set ends up seeing more play, and we get more and more play in this rule set, you're going to eventually see, especially once tournaments start reporting in and you start seeing winners and top 4s, top 8s, top 16s. There's going to probably be for any given pilot, and somebody brought this up in my Discord recently, so this isn't all my idea, but it's more of a community idea. By the way, if you're not in the Discord, there's links down in the description below. You should definitely check that out and join. And we do giveaways in there. We do all kinds of cool stuff, and it's very family friendly. We talk about X-Wing, Armada, Legion, all of that. But it was mentioned that there's probably only going to be like 1 or 2 given, Darth Vader builds or Anakin Skywalker builds. You're not going to have like the variation in list building, at least for each individual pilot, that you may have had before, primarily because you're not incentivized to ever take anybody bare bones. You like, under no circumstances should you ever take a pilot without upgrades. Well, I mean, or so they say. I still plan on doing that, just to do it, just to be a rebel. But yeah, really, I mean, if you want to win at all, you should definitely use as many of your available loadout points as you can. Now, this is a little bit kind of in the vein of quick builds, because in a lot of the quick builds that we've seen, not every pilot is using 100% of their upgrades. Sometimes they're only using 1 or 2, and in some cases they're even using more upgrades than they would normally be able to have, like extra modifications and things that shouldn't normally be there. But that's one of the interesting things about quick builds. So I feel like when we look at maybe a year from now of running 2.5 tournaments, I'll use Darth Vader as an example again. There'll probably be, an optimal build for Darth Vader, or maybe 1 or 2 even, but certain builds are going to rise to the top as well, given that you have only this many loadout points and you can't take this, and you certainly don't want to just run him with like a bare bones option. This is the best way to run Darth Vader. I mean, I think there's a reasonable chance that will be the case for just about every pilot. Now, some may have multiples. And of course, it's going to depend on lists and synergies. And there may be like hey, this Darth Vader works better with a swarm. This Darth Vader works better with like a 3-ship build. You may see some of that. But I think for a lot of pilots, you'll start to see, dominant builds emerge. And once that happens, I would argue that the quick builds of the future write themselves. The community is kind of building the next wave of quick builds. Now, why is this relevant? Is quick build going to become a format? Is it going to become, more widely OP kits? Is quick build going to replace standard? I mean, I have no idea. But I think we can get an idea of where AMG might be thinking if we go back to the last mini extravaganza on some of the other things that they have said. They talked about standard loadouts. Now, this wasn't talked about recently during the 2.5 stuff, but standard loadouts is something they talked about a long time ago. And they said it would be similar to quick builds, but it would have the point values and could mix with normal lists. And so I don't know if that is still their plan, but that was definitely something that they wanted to do. And they had put a lot of development time into this, naming 2 actual expansion packs that were going to, or at least sets of releases, whether or not they were going to be a for sale product or a free download. But they were going to have the Battle of Yavin set and then the Siege of Coruscant set. Then these would feature like 10 new pilots and from these epic battles. And so that's kind of a pretty cool thing. It sounds a little bit like a physical product release with standard loadouts, but again, they haven't announced this yet, and it's been a long time. Maybe we'll see something about this at next mini extravaganza. I don't know if they'll want to release this as well, or at least tease this at the same time that they should hopefully finally reveal the Clone Z95 and the Rogue class. But I think standard loadouts is a really interesting development when we kind of see now with the loadout values that ships have. It's kind of changed list building a lot, and I feel like standard loadouts might end up kind of defining themselves through the meta, and so that I feel like that's kind of the way things are going. I think they're going to let the community kind of build the next wave of quick builds for them, and whether or not they use this exact format of quick build for the future, or if they reveal more specifics on exactly what a standard loadout is going to look like. I imagine it would look very much like this, but the only difference would probably be the point system here instead of the green, yellow, orange, red, or purple kind of number of bars that they have down here. Maybe they'll just go with the new point system and kind of do it that way. So it might be an enhanced quick build. And I wonder if the cards will be like small size, medium, or larger, if they'll be Marvel Crisis Protocol sized. Who knows? So I feel like standard loadouts and quick builds are going to kind of merge into, I think, the AMG's next vision for X-Wing. I don't know if we'll still be calling it 2.5 or I've joked about 3.0 and even 4.0. Who knows? It's certainly giving me ideas for an April Fool's Day video, but we'll have to wait. You have to wait a couple of weeks for that and see what we have in store. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you, that I think quick builds are kind of something that AMG is going to be putting a lot more focus behind. And I'm curious what you guys think. Would you guys be interested in playing, maybe in a quick build tournament or in a quick build, standard format? For leagues and things like that, or is that something you would hate to do? Do you just want to be, customizing each ship? And if so, do you think that even when there's a kind of a clear winner for every ship's option for customization now, you still want to do it anyway? I think a lot of people are probably going to still want to customize their ships, but I know that I lean into the camp where I would definitely want to play quick build. I mean, not all the time. I wouldn't want it to be like the way, but I'd want it to be an option, at least a viable option that sometimes happens, because I think it's just convenient. I think it's easy to just grab one card per ship. So maybe if I'm running a 3-ship list, I just grab 3 cards and I'm done. It would make setup really, really easy. And teardown really easy as well. I think it could be really fun. Plus, that could mean more Aces High style events, which are also very, very fun. So if you haven't played Aces High, I definitely recommend it. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section, and don't forget to join the Discord. Follow me on social media if you're, checking out those links down there. Don't forget to check out Luxury Playstyle as well. Huge, huge thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for helping this channel succeed. I will talk to you guys later, and may the force be with you.